Nik, welcome to Radio Days North America 2023.
It's fantastic to be here. Thank you.
So you're over from the UK and you did a very interesting keynote this morning. And you were talking about talent, dealing with talent, everything from air checks to 4 different types of talent that each radio station may have, could be a good idea to have.
So I think of talent as the most important aspect of the radio station, firstly, and all talent are stars. Right? All talent are stars, but we've got different types of stars. So I like to think of them as, firstly, superstars, who are the superstar talent. The big stars usually got a bit of an ego as well, but that's okay. They're unique and we love those. We've got rising stars who are almost superstars, not quite there yet, but work really, really hard and want to be the next superstar. You've got fading stars. These are usually people perhaps who are trading a little bit off former glories and maybe have to work a little bit harder and you have to give them a little bit more motivation. And then you've got newborn stars. Newborn stars are great because they'll take direction and they'll be really keen because they want to climb the ladder. So I think all talent is really important. They're all stars. They're just different stages of evolution.
And so which category of the 4 would you prioritize in terms of coaching? Obviously the rising star, but then you don't want to alienate the superstar or leave them alone and leave them to one side.
It's a great question. You actually have to treat them all equally because they need different levels of coaching. So a superstar, you can't teach them necessarily new things about radio because they've been there and done it, but actually they might just need a little word about something that they're falling into, a little old habit or something, whereas you want to spend more time with a new star and say, actually, this is how we really want to do it. If you want to get to that level, spend a little bit more time with them. So everyone needs coaching, and I think that some need a little more than others, of course, but hopefully it's a positive experience and they enjoy it.
How important is it that people actually go away and implement these ideas? Because I think we're just wasting our time otherwise.
It's important that you've got to follow up with them. So if you're suggesting something, let's take an example where you might want a morning show to have more callers on the show, and you talk to the show about that and talk to the presenters about that, the production team, and then you're listening to the show for the next few weeks and you can't hear any more callers coming through on the show, you've got to follow up on that kind of stuff. So it's important to set objectives and to try and get those objectives realized by the talent as well. Don't let them get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I especially loved the kind of theme of your presentation, and when you kind of dipped your toe into football or soccer over here. You also mentioned one of my favorite movies of all time, not just because it's another Miles Teller, who's the star of the show, but Whiplash. And you mentioned how you don't want to go too far and too aggressive as a program director and talent management.
Everyone needs feedback, and there's different types of feedback. There's effective feedback and feedback which is less effective. I know program directors who have shouted at radio presenters previously and thrown things and stormed out and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's particularly effective. It's a bit old school, if you ask me. I think there are better ways of doing it. So in the movie Whiplash, if you know the movie, there's a teacher who's trying to get people to do things, and he's very, very tough on them. It's not always the most effective way, and so I would question that.
And in sports as well, you're seeing that whole hard man, 80s, 90s, let's say Premier League football, manager, where they would throw something at you in the changing room at halftime. Now it's kind of, let's put my arm around you, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson, who famously led Manchester United to many successes.
That hurts you saying that, doesn't it? He's a Liverpool fan.
As a Liverpool supporter, that absolutely hurts me. I can tell you that. He famously used to give people the hairdryer treatment. Jurgen Klopp, who is the Liverpool manager and who's brilliant, is not like that. Sure, he feels passionate, and I'm sure he's raised his voice, sure. However, I think there's more love that is shown to the players, and more understanding and more empathy than just shouting at them to try and get them to do things.
Yeah. Nik, where can we find out more about you and see what you're up to at Bounce?
You can go, well, this is great. This is the opportunity to plug. If you search Nik Goodman, NIKGOODMAN, you'll find me. I'm there. You can't miss it with this hair, right?
Nik, thanks so much for stopping by here at Radio Days North America 2023.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you.